Offer lifted, 25 bid.
Welcome to PriceSquawk.
In this video, we will introduce PriceSquawk, which is integrated to the Jigsaw Reconstructed tape. We will recommend a path to quickly incorporate PriceSquawk into your trading and discuss how audio can assist with your trading performance. We will also summarize the various PriceSquawk volume features that can be used to help you map the market and give some ideas for finding new trading patterns and strategies. And finally, we will discuss the efficiency tools built into PriceSquawk to save you time and effort. The PriceSquawk integration with the Jigsaw Recon tape adds an audible dimension to the time and sales that can be used to complement your existing tape reading skills and help in developing those skills by presenting order flow information from the Recon tape in a different format. When opened through the Jigsaw tools, PriceSquawk gets its data feed purely from the Recon tape, so all trade sounds, volume accumulation, and time and sales alerts are going to be derived from the trades as filtered and displayed in your Recon tape. PriceSquawk uses different buy and sell trade sounds to represent the time and sales trades as viewed in your Recon tape, with the pitch of these sounds used to represent changes in price, and loudness of trade sounds to represent the size of trades. Additionally, you can configure buy and sell trade size alerts, similar to your block trade alerts in the Recon tape, and for these alerts assign unique hit or lift sound effects, or trade size announcements in speech, such as 100 lift or 200 hit. PriceSquawk also accumulates the volume traded through the Recon tape in a number of different formats, such as volume profile, volume at price, volume in time, and so on. This allows you to raise specific volume alerts and hear the tape in the context of the current volume state of the market. For example, increase the loudness of trade sounds as volume accumulates at price, or based on the thickness of the current volume profile. This helps you maintain a mental map of the market purely from listening to your Recon tape. With the default PriceSquawk settings, out of the box, you will be able to extract a lot of the information audibly from the Recon tape, such as the size of large aggressor orders and whether they are hitting the bid or lifting the offer, as well as the pace of the tape and how well prices are holding up based on the volatility heard in the pitch of your trade sounds. This audible feedback of the order flow from the Recon tape gives you the flexibility to instead focus on actual trading using the Jigsaw DOM, paying attention to the market depth, bids and offers, or monitoring the other useful Jigsaw visualization tools such as the heat map vista and power meters, all while constantly staying tuned to any changes in the order flow as heard through your Recon tape. If you have been through the exercises in the Jigsaw order flow analysis lessons, you will understand the core elements of order flow and have a good idea about what you are viewing in the DOM and tape. If you haven't visited these exercises yet, they are highly recommended. To realize how adding an audible order flow perspective with PriceSquawk to your trading is a useful addition, it's a good idea to repeat the same order flow exercises in the Jigsaw lessons with your PriceSquawk trade sounds enabled. This is the quickest way to get a feel for the order flow and identify some key order flow components from an audible perspective. To get started, open PriceSquawk from the Recon tape, and if you aren't a fan of the default buy and sell trade sounds, you can select something more suitable. By default, PriceSquawk will play a buy or sell trade sound for each entry in the Recon tape and raise specific hit and lift trade alerts. The loudness of trades in this default state represents the amount of volume flowing through the tape relative to recent trading activity. Now, with the Jigsaw DOM open, watch and listen to the prints as recommended in the Jigsaw order flow lessons. We discuss some specific things to listen for in the PriceSquawk introduction tutorial emails we email out to those interested, and we also walk you through alternative configurations to the default settings. You can sign up for these PriceSquawk tutorials on our website. By default, PriceSquawk will be controlling your trade sounds using its auto configuration, so that trade sounds get louder as the volume flowing through the tape increases, and softer as volume trading dries up. And this is after an initial short buffering period where PriceSquawk accumulates some real-time volume flow information. You will also by default hear some time and sales alerts, which may or may not be useful for your particular market. You can tweak the size of the trade alerts from the configuration tab after selecting time and sales mode from the drop-down menu. Enter useful values for minimum, middle, and maximum trade alerts. For future reference, you can also configure whether the loudness of trade sounds changes according to the minimum, middle, and maximum settings by ticking the trade sounds checkbox. Alternatively, if you just want to have PriceSquawk scan the Recon tape for specific large trades and raise an alert, you can turn off trade sounds from the sound menu and leave time and sales volume alerts enabled. There are different formats available for playing alerts, and you can hear what the current alert will sound like by clicking the play button next to the alert threshold. You can also use the trade sounds checkbox in time and sales mode to filter trades by the minimum trade size threshold setting. This is so you will only hear trades from the Recon tape above this minimum value. If you are getting overwhelmed by trade sounds when you initially open PriceSquawk, then you can use this minimum filter to reduce the noise and still benefit from an audible feedback of the order flow. For instance, if it's a busy trading session in the E-minis, a minimum filter of 5 will clean up the tape sounds and still provide constant feedback of the general flow of buying versus selling volume and large trader activity. You can also filter trades from the Recon tape directly instead of adjusting the PriceSquawk time and sales filter. It's important not to change too many settings straight up, as the default PriceSquawk mode is designed to give you useful audible feedback of volume flow and buying versus selling trading activity without having to tweak any settings, if any at all. We will talk more about detailed configuration options later, or you can reference the PriceSquawk tutorial series. So why add sounds to your trading? If you are already leveraging the Recon tape within your trading setup, there is of course the obvious convenience of monitoring the tape audibly, so that is one less tool you need to visually scan. There are benefits you may not have considered though to utilising sound in your trading. There are plenty of publications and scholarly articles available on the web discussing the benefits of using both your visual and audible processing abilities for piecing together information. It is worth a quick Google if you are interested in how audible feedback of information assists in data comprehension and learning. Some traders may relate to the order flow much better using audio, others visually, and then others using both visual and audible feedback of the order flow. The academic consensus seems to be that learning and cognition of information is enhanced when using both audio and visual information together, even though most people will have a tendency to prefer one or the other. I mention this as using PriceSquawk through the Recon tape is not just a way to reduce the amount of information you visually monitor by playing fancy sounds and alerts, but to give you a different means for comprehending the order flow in your markets altogether. Listening to the order flow may suddenly present the same information you have been looking at in a new light, which makes it easier to understand the balance of buying versus selling and the resulting price action in your markets. You can then start benefiting from this understanding when it comes to trade selection and trade management. The Recon tape in turn assists PriceSquawk by feeding it with the actual size of buyers and sellers that are eating away at liquidity, which really is a more intuitive representation of the underlying forces in the market. Enabling PriceSquawk trade sounds while passively watching the DOM is going to give you some insight as to what works for you. And as per the order flow lessons, just try and get a feel for trading activity from an audible perspective during different phases of price discovery, at steps in the profile, range extremes, the day's highs and low, etc. And don't worry too much about extracting trade signals from your PriceSquawk audio. Whether you agree that listening to the order flow is going to benefit your order flow understanding and comprehension or not, monitoring multiple asset classes audibly is a key benefit to listening to the Recon tape. You can utilize PriceSquawk for monitoring for leading order flow in correlated markets, since it simplifies the task of watching multiple DOMs and tapes for trade decision support. You can set up PriceSquawk to identify particular order flow events and follow the price action in any number of asset classes, reducing your visual workload and allowing you to apply full attention to your traded markets and your trading actions and execution. For example, if trading the 10-year Treasury notes, you can listen to any leading order flow information occurring across the yield curve, such as the 2-year and 30-year Treasury notes, while staying focused on the prints and depth of market in the 10-year notes. You might be interested in monitoring for large bids and offers in the bonds, and for offers lifted in the 2-year, and so forth. PriceSquawk makes it easy to expand your awareness of correlated market order flow and how it relates to your traded market, without increasing your visual workload. There are endless correlations in other markets you can explore with the aid of PriceSquawk, though I suggest first getting familiar with listening to just your key market and learning the extent to which PriceSquawk can cover your order flow monitoring needs in that market. Once you have gotten familiar with PriceSquawk's time and sales sounds through the Recon tape, whether you changed the default settings to better suit your market or not, you can start to look into other PriceSquawk volume modes that can assist you in monitoring trading activity in the context of different volume states in the market. PriceSquawk accumulates the volume of trades, as filtered by the Recon tape, into various volume formats to give you an audible map of the accumulation and distribution of volume in different contexts. For example, volume at price lets you hear buy and sell trading activity in the context of the accumulated volume at price, instead of continuously doing the mental arithmetic to figure out how much volume has been absorbed at prices. You can simply listen to the loudness of trade sounds. You can identify if buyers have been more active and if their efforts are being absorbed. In markets like the E-mini, the current accumulated volume at price does reset frequently since the bid and offer are both trading at market, but you will still hear liquidity increase at the culmination of moves and be able to hear the absorption occur at the bid or offer without getting the full picture. You can also set volume at price alerts. For example, you can configure PriceSquawk to announce 1,000 contracts traded, 2,000 traded, then 5,000 traded at price. Smart Volume maintains volume accumulation at price, both the inside market prices, so you get a more complete picture of the volume absorption occurring at inside market, and the volume count does not reset when a price flickers back and forth between the bid and offer. This helps you follow changes in liquidity as price moves up and down. Trades will get louder as liquidity increases. To eliminate confusion, this is not the same as what you see in the Jigsaw DOM current trades, where the current trade accumulates on the bid and offer side. Smart volume can be visualized as a very narrow volume profile that always moves with the inside market. If an offer goes bid, volume will continue accumulating, and the new higher offer will start counting trades from scratch. Volume in time lets you hear trades and set alerts for the total volume accumulated over a previous time window. You can visualize this as summing up all the entries you see in the Recon tape when it's configured to display trades for a certain number of seconds. PriceSquawk lets you accumulate volume in time over the previous few seconds or over a few minutes. The volume profile modes accumulate the volume traded across all prices as filtered by the Recon tape, and you can manually reset the PriceSquawk volume profile at will, for example after you believe a swing has culminated. You can do this using PriceSquawk hotkeys or from the PriceSquawk ladder view. PriceSquawk lets you set fixed volume profile thresholds to alert and filter trade sounds by, or it also calculates volume profile thickness relative to the current volume point of control. This is done using multiplier values which you configure from within the PriceSquawk settings. We have already mentioned the auto volume mode, which PriceSquawk utilizes by default for controlling the loudness of trade sounds. Auto mode uses a distribution equation to compare snapshots of volume accumulated during a short time window versus previous volume snapshots taken in order to automatically tell you via trade sounds and alerts if volume trading through the Recon tape is slow, normal, elevated, or abnormally elevated. The automatic changes in the loudness of trade sounds, or volume increasing or decreasing alerts, keeps you in tune to whether trading activity, as observed in the tape, is increasing or decreasing. You can use PriceSquawk auto mode announcements to objectively categorize different market phases based on the current volume flow. For example, you can divide your market into normal, elevated, and abnormally elevated volume states, and approach trading differently when in each of these volume states. You could potentially use any of the volume modes for categorizing the market in this manner. One idea is to divide your market up into different liquidity phases using PriceSquawk's minimum, middle, and maximum settings and PriceSquawk's smart volume mode. You could rely on smart volume alerts to tell you that liquidity is in a maximum state, since X number of contracts have been absorbed at recent inside market prices. Enabling trade sounds as well as volume alerts gives you that constant feedback of the buying and selling order flow in each of these liquidity states. It is important to realize that you likely aren't going to be using all of these volume features at the same time in one market. You are way better off getting a feel for the basic order flow in your market using PriceSquawk's time and sales trade sounds and alerts. Then, as you get a feel for the changes in order flow from an audible perspective, you can use the different PriceSquawk volume modes to assist you in monitoring for specific order flow conditions you identify as important. For example, you may begin to notice that recently, large traders or algos tend to be trapping shorts at the end of a move after 5,000 contracts have traded in a short period of time, and that 10,000 contracts in a short time is considered abnormal and likely to be the culmination of short-term price movement. DOM traders usually get a feel for this using some quick mental arithmetic of the volume profile. This is a good opportunity to bring in the PriceSquawk volume and time alerts to keep you tuned in for this specific level of volume entering the market, and save your mental arithmetic effort for other trading tasks. Similarly, you may decide that when 10,000 contracts are sitting on the inside bid or offer, an absorption wall has been hit. You can then lean on PriceSquawk bid and offer volume alerts to hear trading activity or alerts in the context of large bids and offers. Listening to trade sounds will give you a feel for the aggressiveness of buyers and sellers into these large bid and offers, and alerts will simply tell you that the conditions are there. PriceSquawk allows you to combine the different volume modes in certain ways, and we describe this in detail in our documentation and introduction tutorial series. For example, you can increase the loudness of trade sounds in layered trade sound mode only when bid and offer volume is above its minimum setting, and also volume accumulated at price is above its minimum setting. Conversely, you can increase the loudness of trade sounds if either of these conditions are met using any trade sound mode. Time and sales mode, which is enabled by default, ensures that you can always audibly identify large trades from the Recon tape by their loudness, but other volume modes combine in a layered manner. Combining different volume modes within PriceSquawk like this allows you to create your own audible map of current market conditions derived from the Recon tape. You can use your audible map for identifying unique order flow developments and market states. Continued success in trading definitely has a component of finding your own unique patterns and developing some intuition for the order flow and price action, and by adding an audible dimension to market information, you open up a whole new world for honing your trading skills and developing a unique perspective for finding trading opportunities within. The bonus of being able to build a mental picture of the market from just audio is that you are also freeing up a lot of mental and physical resources, which you can then utilize for further improvement of your trading, such as researching new opportunities or sitting back and recharging between trades that you execute. So there is an escalation of how your order flow reading skills can develop, from simply listening to the Recon tape trade sounds to establishing an entire mental map of your markets via the PriceSquawk audio, using volume modes, trade sounds and alerts and so on. Factor in that you are more than likely going to be watching the Jigsaw DOM and other Jigsaw visualization tools that provide further decision support for selecting and managing trades. There you have a powerful set of visual and audible tools at your disposal for developing your edge in the markets. PriceSquawk actually has a number of pre-configured settings that can be used as a base for developing your audible map of the market. For example, the E-mini tape alerts setting is a simple configuration that gives you simultaneous audible feedback of the volume flowing through the Recon tape using auto volume mode. You can easily hear the balance of buying versus selling trading activity via different buy and sell trade sounds, and identify large trader alerts. There are settings that incorporate a virtual trading pit that increases and decreases trading pit audio with the ebb and flow of volume, as well as other Squawk settings. The PriceSquawk integration section on the Jigsaw help web page lists all these pre-configured settings available in PriceSquawk with a brief description. There are also a number of efficiency tools built into PriceSquawk. For instance, Price Alerts allows you to check a box at the appropriate price for enabling an audible
65.
price alert. You can manually line these up with your Jigsaw DOM alerts column. By ticking a box, PriceSquawk will announce the actual price trading and a unique price alert identifier. You can also enable it to play a simple sound effect with or without pitch information representing the price. There is the short-term volume profile, which you can view on the ladder tab, and this will match up with your volume profile trade sound filtering and alerts discussed earlier. You can set times to reset the volume profile automatically. You can also enter a list of scheduled alert times and dates to raise arbitrary audible alerts with a warning X number of minutes before the alert is raised. This is useful for entering relevant economic releases due during the trading session, with a warning and alert so you are not caught out by the avoidable. The PriceSquawk Squawk is the final feature to introduce. You can configure the squawk to announce price action only or to commentate the inside market behavior as seen in your Jigsaw DOM. For example, the squawk will announce offer lifted,
65
50s bid,
offer.
or you can configure it just to announce offer lifted, bid taken, bid pulled, and so on. Any configured volume, price, and scheduled alerts will be prioritized by being announced in order of occurrence before the Squawk announcements. This can actually come in handy, as you can, for example, configure bid and offer volume alerts so that PriceSquawk announces a large inside bid, and subsequently if that bid is taken or pulled. The Squawk is an additional means for you to either monitor your primary markets or stay informed of the price action and order flow in other asset classes you don't have the means to constantly visually monitor. There are a few pre-configured Squawk setups you can select, such as the Mail Squawk with Pit, which will announce all price action and some volume and trade alerts, with trading pit sound effects that get louder when volume flowing through the tape increases. There has been a lot to take in, so hopefully you at least get a feel for how PriceSquawk can be useful in your Jigsaw trading setup, and how to get started tuning into the order flow with an audible perspective. Some of the PriceSquawk and Jigsaw features will overlap, such as block trade alerts, etc. It doesn't really matter which you use. However, the sometimes subtle sound nuances in PriceSquawk can be interfered with by audio from other tools, in which case use PriceSquawk to produce alerts where possible, as it layers sounds differently so more audible information can be heard simultaneously. We do have a comprehensive email series that walks you through using PriceSquawk from scratch, with step-by-step instructions for tweaking the default settings, all the way through to enabling more complex configurations for identifying unique order flow conditions. You can sign up for these instructional emails on our website and reply directly to me with any questions you have. The training involved in the introduction email series is designed to not only teach you how to tweak PriceSquawk settings, but also give you ideas of new ways to view markets and develop your trading edge using sound. It's worth noting that by default, PriceSquawk will open as a 2-week free trial from your Recon tape, after which it will default to a musical instrument buy and sell trade sound tool. So you can still benefit from some audible feedback of the tape for free. If you are inspired to revisit PriceSquawk, having expired your PriceSquawk trial previously, please get in contact via our website contact page. If you have any questions, you are welcome to contact me via the contact page also. However, it could be more useful to ask it on the Jigsaw forum so others can learn from your questions also. One final point, when you start getting PriceSquawk audible feedback from the tape for the first time, the tendency for new traders is to try and find signals immediately to trade from. Please simply listen to the order flow with PriceSquawk enabled for a period of time and be patient. The order flow, both visually and audibly, will begin to make sense to you, and with just a little bit of time, you'll start to identify patterns in the order flow with your new audible perspective, which you can work with in your trading. Thank you for watching.